Luke, I am MacGyver Sharon. Good morning, MacGyver Sharon here. Another day of sunshine, probably brief. It's been wet, cold, and mold again the last few days. I'm going to try to work on that camper shell window. And hopefully on time to stop, and rumor has it the Blue Angels are going to fly over this military establishment that I'm stuck on. Hoorah! So let's see what we can get done with that camper shell. Part 3. Okay, I have my window out on my tailgate with some puzzle mats down. And I'm going to go around the edges of this. Let me take you off of here. In the same way with this metal brush. And this is all the old liner gunk. I'm going to peel off what I can, but it's mostly falling apart. And I'm going to go all the way around it with this brush. Got a lot of dust and dirt on there too. So I'm going to go all the way around the edge, get everything off of there, and then I'm going to clean it up really good. And then I have to decide what to use for the seal. I'm still thinking this weather strip that I found in my stash, and if not, I have bits of butyl tape. Alright, let's get started. Now here I find where the metals come together. It looks like that somebody had JB welded this. So maybe these aren't the original windows. Well, I'm going to try to work with what I got though. So we can get some sunlight on that. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Okay, well I got all the stuff off the back side of it and I flipped the window over. Now this is that waterproof Gorilla Glue tape I was telling you about. And that's going to be a PIA. You know what? I'm just going to leave that on there. Because it's on the window right here. It's not affecting the back side. I had put tape on the other side of this so it wouldn't stick to the sliding window. So we'll get that off later. But what I'm wondering about is these. These are supposed to be drain holes. So the water drains down your truck cab. But they don't go anywhere. They go to the inside where I can't reach. There's no thoroughfare. So I don't know what to do about those. I'm going to take a hose to this and clean everything out and see if let's see how that works, since I can't see anywhere that it goes. Because if you look on the back side, there's nothing. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, where is it? So there's a drain hole. It's the outside of the window. And then if you look, it does not go through anywhere. Unless it goes in this little, whatever that is. Alright, well, let's wash her down, see what we got. Okay, so those drain holes, they go on the bottom of the window. This is the outside of the window. So what happens is when you get water on the inside of the window, let's do a thing in here. It's supposed to pour out. We'll show you that soon. Can't see. You see it coming out, so I'm spraying the inside of the window here. And then down there, those drain holes. I suppose somehow, if you get water on the inside of your truck, or maybe it's for condensation, I don't know. But it's supposed to drain down through those. drain holes. There's 4 of them on the bottom of the window. Alright. Alright, it's all cleaned up. Let's see what we can do. Hello. So I took a break and I researched, and I only saw one video on using butyl tape, but they didn't show how they put it in there. So butyl tape has never failed me, so I'm just going to go back and do it with butyl tape. A little peace of mind. Took a little break because the Blue Angels were supposed to fly over. They just flew by. And got one little picture with my beat up old Canon T5i and 300mm lens. But I sat out there and waited for them. Oh well. Back to work. Butyl tape. So this is the butyl tape I've been using. I got some other melty looking stuff. It's kind of cold. I'm setting it out in the sun for a little while. And I'm going to peel it off and just put it all the way around the window and get that window back on, because there's no telling when this East Coast weather is going to be a poo head again. Any minute now. Winds and rain and cold and mold. Yeah, such a positive outlook. Alright, I'm going to start peeling this. Let it thaw out a bit. Alright, here we go. What's the sticky side? Well, the beautiful thing about butyl tape, beautiful butyl, is that once I get it on there, I can squish it. And just squish it. And once I get it on the window, all the stuff that's hanging out the edge, I'll be able to just cut it down. So this is what I'm going to do all the way around. I'm going to lay down the butyl tape, and I'll tell you, I've had this a long time. I want to peel the tape off. I want to do a better job than that, but I'm reaching around the cell phone here. I'm just going to squish it all up in there. Once I get to the other side, I'll look at the drain holes and see how this might affect that, but I don't think it will. So this is what I'm doing. I want to do that all the way around. I'm just going to get it up in there with my big fat man hand fingers and see if it's going to be thick enough. I don't like the way they did that, but oh well. You got to work with what you got. Alright, so let me get this done all the way around and see how we go. So there, I've gone all the way around and used the last of my butyl tape. And I have this old butyl tape, this melty stuff. I live a majority of my time in Arizona usually. It gets hot. This is sort of melted all gobbledygook like. So what I'm doing is getting what I can out of this. I'm going around feeling the edges of where I've stuffed all the butyl tape, and where it feels thinner, I'm squishing some more of this on there and try to make an even squish all the way around the window. Okay, butyl tape all the way around the edges. Now I'm just going to pick that window up and put it back into my shell right here. That's the back plate. So this is all sanded a bit and painted. Here we go. have two people to do this, really. I was afraid the window's going to fall off. Oh, come on. Off the wind. Okay. All right. Looks like I got it in there. I need more tape. I'm gonna try to hold this, grab my tape at the same time, and just add strips of tapes here. Since I'm paranoid, my window's gonna fall out. The beetle tape did not seem to affect these drain holes. Okey-dokey. And you see, this is what I'm talking about, the excess. Once I tighten this down all the way even, hopefully this will be all pressed in, and then I'll see if that just squishes off, and I can always peel it off. All right. Let's carefully get to the inside screws. I just put painter's tape. Now I'm going to go gently try to screw in 3 or 4 screws, and then see how that goes. Alrighty, so I'm on the inside of my truck, and my son-in-law had gotten me these screws and some Phillips screws. But in the 1 minute that it takes to walk from where I grabbed the bag of screws and came inside my truck, I can't find them. Mental. So this is what I did. I put in a screw here and a screw there, a screw there, and a screw there, just to make sure the window ain't gonna fall. I'm still not sure if these are gonna be long enough, but I don't want to just crank down on them. So what I'm doing is I'm tightening them slowly all the way around every other screw, like you do your tires, and then I'm tightening the other screw like you do your tires. And before I tighten these ones down, I am going to open this window that way, because what I did notice is when I took these screws out, whoever owned it before had half screws and 3/4 screws, just all willy-nilly. And I did notice that when I open and close this window, depending on the tightness of the screw, you hear the kind of a scraping thing. I also am not sure if it's going to be sealed all the way to my shell. So it is beetle tape, so I'm going to tighten each screw, like I said, every other one. Open this window, tighten each screw, every other one. Just slowly, by hand, and then let it settle, and then continue on. I'm just going to keep doing that slowly and slowly, making sure that this window will slide back and forth. And when I feel like they're snug enough, then I'll make sure they're all tight, and then this window opens and closes, and then I will check the beetle tape on the outside. And if it all looks good and sealed, I don't know if I'm going to spray it with water to check, or probably would be a good idea. This might take a day or two to settle. Spray it with water, let it set in the sun, tighten them all up again. And I am going to put beetle tape all along the outside like this. Not beetle tape, excuse me, Dicor. Like that sealant you put around like ceiling roofs on the outside. And then that's that. So the more I go around and around and try to tighten everything up evenly, little by little, the outside is getting more even, and this is getting squeezed. So ultimately, I want as minimal space between this and this as possible. I'm comparing it to the other side because that window hasn't been taken off. So I think I've got it tight all the way around, And now I'm going to let it settle overnight, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow if it's not freezing cold. And take it from there. Good morning. MacGyver Sharon here. Back again. Working on this part 3. It's been a few days of rain, wet, mold, and cold. And it's supposed to rain tonight, but we have a brief moment of sunshine, so let's finish that window. Ready? Set, go! So here we are on the inside. My truck home is a mess. So, it has been raining. I have felt no dampness. No dampness anywhere along here, all around the entire window. And I have come out every day and gone through tightening these since I used butyl tape on the other side. Just want to make sure. So I've gone around the entire window, every other screw, and tightening them up. All it. And they do tighten each time. I don't want them too tight because I want to make sure that my window can still open with ease. So what I've been doing is going around, tighten every other one, then tighten every other one while I'm sliding the window back and forth. No. So there's that Gorilla tape thing, and that's going to be tough to get off. I'm hoping that this brief moment of sunshine will loosen up the glue enough on the other side. At least it's not on the window. So, gone around and tighten all these, and then I'm going to go on the outside and scrape off all the butyl tape with one of my fancy plastic tools. And then, once I get that done, I am going to put this all the way around the window frame. Not a whole bunch, don't want to look too bad, but just that extra. I got the butyl tape in there, so I'm going to add this for the extra oomph after I scrape off all the excess butyl tape that I squeezed out. Alrighty. Forward march. And here we go. Bees will let me. Ooh. This is a MacGyver Sharon special tool. Now you see, I'm going to scrape it all off, make it all even with my big fat man hands. So let me get that done. You don't need to watch that whole thing. And then we'll try to get that tape off right there. And then we'll get onto the die core. Okay, well I got that Gorilla tape off, except for this really sticky stuff. Maybe it'll heat up a bit more and I can take that off easier. But all the way around, I got the excess butyl tape off. And now, before I add the die core, which we're having technical difficulties with, I'm going to clean all around. I'm going to clean all of this and the edge of this with this stuff. I'm almost out of it. Haven't been able to find it, and I can't remember where I bought it. It's in Arizona somewhere. But that should take off all the oils and goop and gunk so that the die core will adhere better. All right. And here we go. Not doing too well, is it? Maybe a different angle. Technical difficulties. And just like that. Although I think I gotta knead it up a little. This is just gonna get all over and I'll just have to clean it up. But I just want to make sure I got a good seal all the way around on top of the butyl tape. Oop. Man, wish I could wear gloves, but we can't waste any gloves right now. Damn the COVID. All right. The famous black tool again. So I'm in lockdown. So if you hear any power tools or somebody nagging at somebody, it's not us. It's across the street trying to record in between all of that. But he's a nagging, she's a nagging. So thank Bob I'm single. From now until eternity. Ha ha ha. Stuff will probably be with me a few days. So it's not exactly neat, but I think I got it in all the right spots. And I will clean it up. I'll let this dry. Every time I try to clean it up more, I think I'm taking it out of the very corner edge that I want it to be. So I got to clean up this Gorilla Tape glue anyway. So I'm gonna let this I'm gonna let that die core dry, and then I'll just figure out a way to scrape off the rest. But there it is. The window is sealed and no leakage. So I just want to say peace, love, and understanding, everybody. Y'all take care of yourselves out there, and take care of each other too when you can.